Hey guys, Nick from Arch City Poker, archcityplo.com. Today's video, I'm going to talk about when to bluff. Essentially, when should I bluff is the topic at hand. And I know this video is not airing on a Thursday. It's because I'm going to be out of town, so I want to get you guys your video for the week, and it's obviously a couple days early here. But let's talk about this topic. When should I be bluffing? Because there are a lot of players that have a general idea. It's when they'll think to themselves, I don't have anything, I can't win the pot if I don't bet. That's in general going to be right, but there are some specific thoughts that I think can help you guys out that maybe some of you are struggling to find enough bluffs in certain spots. So the first thing, of course, is if you lack showdown value and you are a little bit lower in your range. If you can't turn your cards over on the river and win enough of the time, this happens when you have generally no pairs. Maybe you have a really small pair that's not going to be good often enough. Then those are often the types of hands that you're going to have to bluff with because, well, if you turn your hand over, you're going to be losing to usually better hands. Now, that step in itself is not going to be the only thought that you should have. The second part of that, in my opinion, should be, is your opponent's range pretty capped? Meaning, are they deprived of good combos in their range? Are they lacking two pairs, set, straights, flushes? Are they lacking top pair types of hands? If you think they have a lot of hands that are, middle pairs or worse, and you can't beat them, then you probably should try to bluff. And, there are some more advanced thoughts that go along with this if you're trying to play a balanced strategy, a sound game theory or game theory sound strategy, I guess you can put it that way, where you'll be thinking to yourself, do I rep value combos myself? What is my perceived range? What does my perceived range look like? And that is an important concept, and you should be thinking about that if you are a more advanced player that's playing in tougher games with opponents who can think like that. But if you guys are playing low-stakes online games, even some mid-stakes online games, especially if you play on like American sites, if you play live low to mid-stakes games as well, then you often do not need to take it to that level because you're going to be out-thinking yourself. You're going to be leveling yourself, if you've heard that term before. You really need to just take it back to what is essentially, like, I guess, considered level 1 or 2. I don't remember where people put all the levels, but you really just want to mainly be thinking about what your opponent's range looks like and keep it at that level. Because if you know your opponent's range is really weak and you can apply a lot of pressure on them and bluff more often to win more pots, they're not going to really be thinking about what you can have a lot of the time. They're just going to be thinking about how bad their hand is, and they're just going to let it go and give you credit most of the time. So if you can incorporate all of those thoughts together, again, that's lack of showdown value. Where is my opponent at within their range? Like, is my opponent's range capped? Do they essentially not have good combos in their range at that point in the hand? That's when you should consider bluffing more often, even than what you think maybe you should be. Now, like I said, those advanced steps, those other advanced thoughts, what does your own range look like to your opponent? Only use that if you think you're up against an opponent that can think like that, if it's two advanced poker players versus each other. So, some quick thoughts on bluffing, when you should consider bluffing. And if you guys have any questions or comments like usual, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I will see you, I believe, later next week, either Thursday or Friday. We'll have next week's video up. So come on over, visit the site, posting those step-by-step videos weekly, like I said. And things are starting to really move there, and there's a lot of great content for you guys, so come on over, check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Thanks.